Hello, and welcome to this video. This is Roy Ryer, the founder and president of SEO Training SW and the SEO Roadmap, and I'm so glad you could join us today. This is a video recorded on May 9th, 2013, and is the first half of a teleconference we had with our students who purchased our Master Level SEO and Internet Marketing Home Study course. Some of the topics I'll be sharing with you during this 24-minute segment include why it's now the time to be out there marketing your small business on the internet, and how I use the strategy of selling the belief before the relief in closing an $11,000 contract with a local search client. And then at the end of this presentation, I will share with you a very special offer on our local search home study course. So listen, let's not wait any longer, and let's get into this video recording right now. Good evening, everyone. This is Roy Ryer from the SEO Training Southwest and the SEO Roadmap. This evening's call is for our Master Series training students, those of you that have gone out, and we had a special. We typically have that special once a year, right after we have one of our workshops. And what we did is we marked down the price, and we had it available for 4 days. And we also put on a special bonus, and that bonus was to have 2 conference calls with you. The promotion went very well. I see a number of you on the call tonight. Those of you that are on the East Coast, I do apologize. I know it's a little late for you. However, our next conference call we have rescheduled. Everybody should have an email on that. That's going to be a little earlier in the day. But go ahead, let's go ahead and get this started. This is also going to be recorded. Those of you that are not going to be on the call tonight could watch a replay of this later, and we'll have that replay available for you. Also, the first segment of this, we're going to record and make a YouTube video. The stuff that David is going to discuss this evening is going to be private for members only. So just kind of disclose that. Now, if you do have a question anytime during this webinar, please type it into the question box. We'll try to answer some of your questions during the call, and we'll certainly answer any of your questions that you do have after the call. Now, I'd like to welcome everybody that is on this call live tonight. Welcome to our family. And the reason I say welcome to our family and not our community, when you do go through our training, you become a little closer to us, and I consider you becoming a part of our family. You know, we shared with you a lot of the things that go on in our, we do every day. It's called White Hat, of course, but we share a lot of stuff with you, and we share everything with you, basically. And a lot of that stuff we shared with you, of course, we do not share, on our website or in our videos and stuff like that. So you have a little extra edge. And I only share that with our family. I don't share that with our general community. Our community still gets great value. However, you're kind of a little step above that, and so we share some of that kind of really cool stuff with you. So just to kind of introduce some of the folks here in this photograph. On the left-hand side is David Evans. He lives out in Muncie, Indiana. You probably recognize him from the videos that you've been watching this past couple of weeks. Jeanette Degner, she lives in Las Vegas. Longtime internet marketer, and she was one of my instructors, actually, back in 2001. When I started learning about SEO. That handsome guy in the middle is me with the black shirt. Then to my right is my wife, Margie Ryer. And then the last person on the right-hand side is Steve Farino. Steven is our Chief Technical Officer with TKO Marketing, another company that I'm part of it with David. And he's not on the call tonight. He's traveling back from Colorado this evening. Now, this is what's going to be on the agenda this evening. I sent everybody an email, and what I'll do is I'll just send this again out here in the chat box, those of you who are on the call. We rescheduled our next webinar. Our next webinar, I believe, is going to be on a Tuesday evening. I believe it's on the 22nd, and we're going to have that 5:30 in the afternoon rather than 7:30 in the evening. So those of you that are on the East Coast, you don't have to stay up as late, and those of you that are on the West Coast, if you do work, you're just going to have to come home a little earlier to catch this webinar. But again, we're going to have these all recorded, so we will have those available for you. Next thing I want to discuss is now is the time to be out there marketing your products and services. Some really interesting things have happened both with SEO Training, SW, our SEO Roadmap, and also TKO Marketing. Some really, really great things have been happening over the last couple of weeks, and we'll talk about that. Another thing, number 3, I'm going to discuss is something, sell the belief before the relief. Those of you that have been watching the videos, if you've gotten to the part where I have the bonus files about the science of persuasion. You probably already know then that I've went through Dr. Cialdini's persuasion workshop. I've also been getting private one-on-one coaching on the science and art of persuasion. And this was something I just picked up here within the last couple of weeks from a coach of mine, and I'll be sharing with you. It's really, really cool. Then David's going to jump in here. He's going to be discussing building Google-friendly backlinks. I know a lot of you that have gotten the training, have been gone through the training, and there's been a couple questions from you, especially on the advanced part, because we really go into a great deal of time going through how to build Google-friendly backlinks, especially with Panda and Penguin out there. And there's been just a couple questions on that, so David's going to spend the time going over that. And then we'll close out the webinar just answering general questions. So if you do have any questions, please type them in the box. Now we'll get ready and get into the meat of the webinar. Again, our next webinar is going to be May 21st. It's a Tuesday. There's the date. It's going to be 5 p.m. Pacific. Those of you who are on the call tonight, I just text messaged you or put that into the chat box so you can get that link to join us. I also emailed everybody. So if you're not on the call this evening, you should be getting an email with that. Just sign up. That's going to be on May 21st, 5 o'clock. We did have to reschedule it. I'm going to be going to Ohio to meet with a client there in Cincinnati. In fact, David's going to come down from Indiana and meet us or meet me. It's a new contract we're going to be kicking off in July with a client we've been working with. Now, this is now the time, guys. This is really the time to be out there to market your products and services. We've seen some great things happening over the last couple of weeks. The jobless rate, is falling. It's at a 5-year low right now. The stocks were down a little bit today, but they're higher than they've been. So businesses are now interested in getting these local search, getting their websites optimized. They have more money to spend. They're not, kind of putting it away in the little corner. They're putting more money into advertising. And just kind of an example, David, he manages the TKO SEO services, which is basically a white labeling service. So if any of you that are on the call, if you do have anybody that, we do this for agencies or people just refer as clients, what we do is, we do the SEO work for you. And if you want to white label it, you could say that you've done that, or you could just refer them to us and then we pay you a referral fee. But anyway, David's been getting probably about 1 or 2 client calls a day for that, and that's really, really been picking up. Now, something really interesting, those of you who've been out to my home that have taken my training, I live out here in the middle of nowhere. Just outside of Wickenburg, Arizona is the closest town. It's about 10 miles away. And I've been giving workshops up there for the last 2-3 years, free workshops at the Wickenburg Chamber of Commerce. And, have a lot of people that come to the workshop. However, it's been very, very difficult for them to convert into getting a local website. Well, something really strange has happened over the last 2 weeks since the economy's picked up. We signed 2 contracts today. I signed 2 contracts today, 1 contract yesterday. And basically, in the last 2 weeks, I think it's about 8 or 9 websites that we've given quotes on. It's just been a big, influx in the last 2 weeks. So, I'm going to attribute that again to what's happening in the economy. People feel perhaps a little bit more at ease. The businesses are seeing customers come in through the door. They're looking at their listings in Google and saying, oh, we're number 5 or we're number 6. We need to be there on the top, whatever it might be. But now's the time, guys. Go out there because, things are picking up. It's going to become a lot more challenging. Those of you that don't do it, any type of local search or SEO consulting work, those of you that might just be doing website work for your own, well, consider this, because the economy is picking up, your competitors are going to start spending more of their money to try to take you out. So get behind the curveball, get out there now and start really, promoting your particular site. If you're just a business owner, you want to do this for your own website, get out there today or now, because tomorrow it might be too late because your competitors are going to start investing money into this. Now, another thing I want to mention is you need to build up a network offering other people's goods and services. As an example, one of the folks that called me earlier this week for a website, I was in their shop and I noticed a few other things that they had, that they were selling. And basically it was t-shirts. It was a restaurant. They have their restaurant t-shirts. And I know somebody that has his own screen printing services. He does those at just above wholesale price. And I knew if I was to sell his t-shirts, that he would be more than willing to give me a percentage back. So during the meeting to talk about a website, I said, hey, I noticed you sell t-shirts over here and that your employees, wear t-shirts. How much are you paying for those? What do you think about these t-shirts that you have? And, they said, well, they told me their price and it was a little higher than what I could get them from. And they weren't happy with where they were getting the t-shirts from. In fact, they were even getting ready to place another order. So I told them about, what I could do for them, get them their same type of t-shirts at a higher quality shirt at a cheaper price. They would save $3 on a shirt. $3 might seem not like a lot of money, but when you have all your employees wearing the t-shirts and, going through those, it does add up. They're probably going to be signing a contract to have t-shirts now. And this is what I'm going to really be focusing on tonight, and that's sell the belief before the relief. Again, this is something I'm going through the coaching, and I'll be talking about this here right now, sell the belief before the relief. Now, what does this all mean? Well, let me first kind of discuss what the relief is. The relief is the product or service or idea or whatever solution it is that you're actually selling. The one thing they're going to take away from you, the product, your services. However, and a lot of businesses, go out and they sell the relief. Now, if you're into internet marketing or you're an SEO consultant, the relief is, okay, well, this is what we offer you. We offer you a website. We offer you this, and this is how much it's going to cost. But, before you even get there, you need to take a step back. And before you sell the relief, you need to sell the belief. You need to get to your customer to agree to the belief that, you can help them or they need help. So the number one thing you need to do in this is to listen to their problems and beliefs. Just take a step back and just, let them speak, let them discuss what is going on in their business, what their pain points are, what's keeping them awake at night. And, we're going to use an example from the restaurant prospect here. I was got a phone call from a restaurant up in Wickenburg. Those of you that might even be from the Wickenburg area, Jennifer, I see, is from the Wickenburg area. She's on the call tonight, so she's familiar with this restaurant. But some of you that are out in the Phoenix area might have stopped by. It's a restaurant in Wickenburg called Anita's. Sherry, the owner of Anita's, called me up, and she says, Roy, I have a problem here. We got this Google Local thing here, and I'm not sure exactly what this is. And it's got a website we don't even own. It's like this website that somebody put up, years and years ago, and it's still got a 520 telephone number on it, and it has an old menu of ours. I need that link off our Google Local page. And she was at that time willing to spend about $250 because that's what she figured it was worth. Go there, take that link off, and I'm not going to get customers calling a 520 number, that wrong phone number, if they land on the website. And I'm not going to have to listen to them about how come our prices are significantly higher than the menu that was on that website. So I sat down with her. I went up to her restaurant, and I asked Sherry, I said, Sherry, tell me, what you're feeling about internet marketing. What's this internet marketing stuff? What do you feel about that? And the first thing out of her mind, she goes, man, this stuff, it's just so hard. I hardly ever even use a computer. The only thing I do is, use my iPhone. I use my iPhone to kind of keep in contact with my friends on Facebook. That's really the only way I even use the internet. And, I just don't have time for all that stuff. It's really confusing for me. I got a business to run, Roy, and I just want you to go ahead and, do what you need to do. I'm willing to pay you $250. Well, I went a little bit further with Sherry. I said, Sherry, look, how much are you spending for your newspaper advertising, your telephone books, the flyers that you have, and, even highway signs? Because they have highway signs. I didn't even realize this. Sherry told me that they have to pay for these highway signs that lead them in to the restaurant. And she says, well, we're paying about $2,800 a month for that. And so I asked her, I said, Sherry, how are those converting for you? Are they making you any money? Do you know, are people coming in from that? She goes, I don't have a clue. This is what we've always done. So I said, okay, Sherry, let me show you something a little different. And what I had done, and this is something I stole from David many, many years ago. And basically what I had done is I just, went to Google Places, made a snapshot of their local listing in Google Places. And then I, went to the Google keyword tool, and found out how many people were searching for restaurants in around the Wickenburg area, and found other, keywords that people were, searching for that would be relevant to their business. I said, Sherry, take a look at this. This is something I just kind of put together. Look, you're number 3 here right now for Anita's Casino. And I knew that they had another restaurant. It's called the Sandwich Saloon. I said, your other restaurant's not even on this list. And at the time, they were only interested in Anita's. I said, now look, there's over 1,598 people a month searching for restaurants in and around Wickenburg. Basically, when people are searching for a restaurant, or anything on local search, about 86% of them follow up with a direct contact, and 61% of those will make a purchase. So, if you were number 1, Sherry, what would you do with an extra 974 clients every month? Would that matter to you? And she goes, you'd bet it would. That's I would love to have another 974 clients. And so, went through the list, a little bit more, and I will show you some of the other things I shared with Sherry during this worksheet. I said, Sherry, we showed you the 598 searches for restaurant, and I explained to Sherry, look, it's really important to have a top listing. People don't scroll down to the bottom of the page. The person that has typically the number 1 listing, typically get to click. I said, Sherry, you don't have a website right now, or somebody put a website up for you, but it's not your website. And by having a website, you can increase your presence here in Google. That Google is now the new phone book. You're spending, all this money. You're spending $1,000 a month in Yellow Page advertising, and you don't even know if it works. So I explained the importance of having a website. And then I went to Google Keyword Tool, and I found out that over 65% of the searches looking for people that have looking for restaurants in and around Wickenburg were using a mobile phone, using a mobile device. It could be an iPhone, an iPad, or whatever. And then, she had her iPhone right there. I said, Sherry, let's pick up the phone. Let's try this out. I said, have you ever used Siri before? She goes, I used it once. It's really confusing. I said, just press that button right there. I showed her how to do it. And I said, say restaurants. And she said restaurants, and a competitor came up, number 1, like she was number 5. And I said, okay, now you're driving through Wickenburg, you're hungry, you want to eat, you press Siri, and your restaurant's not there. And she's like, oh, my God. And then I said, look, you're not even up here on the top of Google Places. You've got to scroll all the way down on your iPhone to find you. She goes, oh, my God. I didn't realize that. And I showed her the example. I said, now, Sherry, you got your iPhone there. Then here's the number 1 listing. It's a restaurant right across the street from you. It's a Gold Nugget. Now you press that little button there, and you could call them up. You could order your food. She goes, really? Oh, I never knew that. So, I kind of educated her, on her using her mobile device. She used it in her hand. She got to see how it worked. So she started to understand what the belief was, what all this stuff was about internet marketing. And then I, went to their Google Places reviews. I went to their Yelp reviews, and they did have a few bad ones. It wasn't about the food; it was about their staff. And I said, "Look, you got a really bad review here about somebody that had to wait a long time for their order. If somebody's traveling down the highway and they see that, they might not choose that. They might choose one of your competitors. So we need to do some reputation management on your site." And then here's what really, really, hooked Sherry on it. I said, Sherry, let's look how many people are searching for your restaurant. Let's see how many people are searching for Anita's restaurant using a mobile device. And that came down to 78 people a month were searching for Anita's. And I said, now, if they're searching for you and they're not finding a website, they're not finding your phone number, they're not finding your menu, these are all things you could have on your website. How are they going to get hold of you? How are they going to find you? They're probably going to go to your competitors. And, if people are searching for your goods or services and they don't find you and they find a competitor, who's going to win? Your competitor is going to win and you're going to lose. And I explained that to her. And she goes, oh, wow, this is really, really cool. But again, she came back. She goes, I just don't have the time to do this. I said, Sherry, relax. We do this all for you. I explained to Sherry that my team and I would do everything. The only thing she had to do was, sign a check. We would come in and take photographs. We would come in and take videos. We would come in, myself or somebody from my staff would come in and, interview her. to write up the content. And I also said, and this is something else that you want to consider. Think of a bonus that you can add in that, some kind of scarcity item. And I explained to Sherry, I said, look, we could give you a free bonus, Sherry. You look, and I'm looking around, I see all their employees walking around with mobile devices. I said, look, you have all these employees, they're high school or college, and they all got mobile phones on there. They know how to use Facebook. They know how to use Google+. How about if I come in here and I give them, we have a 2-hour training class, some evening or some early morning, and I'll give that to them for free. I'll just throw that in there. She goes, oh, would you do that? And she goes, yeah. I say, yeah, of course I will. She goes, oh, that's great. And then I explained, and I said, Sherry, you're going to see some results here about 90 days. I know I could deliver results faster than that. I'm expecting to see results within, 30 days, most 60. But I wanted to give myself a little buffer zone. And so I said, 90 days, you're going to see results. I guarantee it, Sherry. So this is, this is where we came up with a contract. I said, Sherry, your website's going to cost you $2,500. We need to go in and optimize your Google Places page, that place that you called me about that you were only expecting to pay $250, but you don't have any photographs on there. You don't have it optimized. These are things we can do for that. That's going to cost you an extra $750. We're going to, I'm going to need to set up your website hosting. That's going to be $65. Sherry, how about videos? I could come in here with a video camera and video some of your staff. She goes, that'd be a great idea. Okay, Sherry, that's going to be $1,000. Okay. Reputation management. You see all these reviews on there, Sherry. We're going to clean those up. We'll get some more reviews on there. You don't want those reviews on the top. We'll never be able to get rid of them, but we can get some new reviews. That's going to be $500. She goes, okay. And as citations. You're going to need citations and backlinks to your website. That's going to be $750 out the door. Okay. And she was just like, her eyes are just wide. She didn't have to do this work. So that was the one-time charge. And then I said, Sherry, now I got to be, transparent with you, Sherry. These are going to be some of your monthly charges if you want to be successful. The moment you stop giving your website love is the moment that Google's going to stop loving your website. So I explained to Sherry the importance of backlinks and the citations. And if that was something she wanted, to be $750. She said, sure, this is something I need. Yes. You're going to need to host your website. I have my own server. It's $24. Okay. And she was very, very concerned about her reputation, so she was willing to, pay us an extra $100 a month just to go and check all her reputation things on Yelp, Foursquare, Google Plus, or Google Plus, and just make sure everything was, cool with all that. Sherry goes, well, that's great, Roy. I really like this, and in fact, let's do this to Nana's. That's the other restaurant I have. I don't have a website for Nana's. I don't see Nana's showing up at all in the search, and we need to get customers in Nana's. So let's do this for Nana's. I said, sure, we could do that for Nana's. I could do the same thing, same package, same everything. I'll come into Nana's, I'll train your staff. I walked away from there with a check for $11,130. Ka-ching! She signed the contract. She signed the checks, and we walked out the door. I got hold of David and our team, and we're right now working on the website. So again, how I approached this whole thing, I didn't walk in there with a contract. I said, okay, Sherry, I could clean this up for $250, but, you really need a website. Here's a website deal. I could have you sign that. No, I made her understand the belief, why it was important to do all this, and how we could serve her. So this is why it's really important to sell a belief before the relief, and the steps I did. Now, again, here's the T-shirt deal, and having in my mind, I'm looking at the counter, and I see all these T-shirts stacked up, and I brought it up. I said, Sherry, what about your T-shirts? And, Sherry goes out about every 6 months and orders $500 worth of new T-shirts and various types of sizes. Now, I'm going to get 10% of it. Yeah, $50 is not a whole lot of money, but it's nice. It's going to, it's going to pay for my lunch at Adidas next time, right? So, every 6 months, just through, just by promoting somebody else's goods and service, every 6 months, I'm going to get a check. Now, I'm just kind of looking in there to see if there's any questions that have come in. Don't see any questions, so I don't know if that's good or everybody's still sleeping or what. Anyway, this is going to be my end of my part of my presentation, and now I'm going to turn it over to David, and David's going to talk to you about link building. So, David, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Okay, now just to be clear, that David's going to be going into a lot of other things that are for the family. What we discussed a little earlier was for more the community and for the family. But because everyone that's on the call tonight, you're going to be, and you've gone through the training, and you're part of the family. Now you're going to be getting the family part of the presentation tonight. So David, I'm going to mute my mic, and David, if you want to take it, I'll change presenters. I'll make you the presenter. So David, take it away, my friend.
One of the big things that...
This is the end of the pre-recorded webinar, and it's time for success to be yours. During the past 24 minutes, I shared with you information that literally took me decades of time and thousands of dollars to learn. And if you remember at the beginning of this video, I told you that I would have a special offer for you. I realized that as a small local business owner, that it's very time-consuming to keep up to date with all the information that's out there, especially with all the stuff going on with Google. Also, taking time away and traveling to conferences is expensive. Therefore, I have tailored this special offer just for you. In March, I held my 2013 Local Search Workshop, and the entire one-day event was professionally recorded and edited in high-definition video. I then bottled up these 5 hours of local search training, along with the 255 PowerPoint slides and my local search ranking factor checklist, and put all the information on one high-capacity USB drive. During your 5 hours of local search training, you will learn how to do keyword research for local search, Google Plus for local, Google authorship, Google Places optimization, reviews, Google quality guidelines, how to solve problems with Google Places and Google Plus, Google local organic optimization, Google Webmaster Tools, advanced HTML coding, XML sitemaps, QR codes, Google ranking factors, local search ranking factors, and a 30-minute segment on how to start your own local search consulting business. Now, on my website, I sell this entire training package for $197. However, since you've shown a great deal of commitment by watching this video, I will offer you a gift in return by discounting the cost of my local search home study training course by $100. After clicking the buy button on the bottom of this page, you will be taken to our shopping cart. Here, enter discount code 2013LOCAL for your $100 discount as my gift to you. I really appreciate you taking the time and joining me during this webinar, and I look forward in hearing about your success.